Buddy was a quiet, unremarkable student. He came to class, participated occasionally, worked with his team okay, and was hard to read. Whenever I was speaking to the class, he appeared to be paying attention, but I was never sure if I was getting through. Then came the day that all students were required to give a pitch about a toy designed for children with disabilities. When it was Buddy's turn to talk, I glanced at the other faculty, thinking, I wonder what this is going to be like. Buddy stood up, looked us squarely in the eyes, and said, "When I was in middle school, I had to go to speech therapy, and I hated it. My design will make speech therapy fun, and this is how it will work." For the next 90 seconds, he wowed us with his pitch. We were astonished at the improvement in his behavior. Buddy was a student in our 8-credit-hour design studio. We meet 4 days a week for 4 hours a day. We wanted a curriculum that would create value for students. So we combined technical topics and humanities, and we used design projects to focus our instruction. The last project of the quarter is to make a toy for a not-for-profit called Reach Services. Reach maintains a lending library of toys for children with disabilities. Parents, teachers, and therapists can check out toys from the library. We decided to hold an innovation tournament as our means for selecting which ideas to prototype. We started with 52 ideas, one from each student, then cut to 26, and finally to 12. We used Keen's elevator pitch module for students to craft their presentations. After the first round of presentations, students, faculty, and staff voted on which ones would go forward. Buddy's idea made it to the top 26. Reach came, they listened to all 26 presentations, and as soon as Buddy started talking, the 2 representatives from Reach sat up, looked at each other, and smiled broadly. When he finished, Susie told him, "We don't have anything in the library for speech therapy. This addresses a real need." Do you think Buddy's toy was selected? Absolutely. Now, he was responsible for forming a team of 4 and making his idea into a reality. As we watched him with his team, we were amazed to see his work ethic and his leadership skills. He was blossoming before our very eyes. Now, to create value, we intentionally stress and integrate communication tasks. Students are required, in addition to the prototype, to deliver an oral presentation, a written report, instructions for the user of the toy, and talking points. The librarian at Reach Services uses the talking points to make recommendations to parents, teachers, and therapists about which toy meets the needs of a particular child. The last week of the quarter, we presented the final projects to Reach. We invited members of the department, interested parties, and the local media. This year, our president, provost, dean, and 2 television stations attended the presentations. As you can imagine, this was intimidating. Yet, it's a great opportunity for students to practice speaking under pressure. We were thrilled to determine that students are motivated by creating value for a real client. So why am I bragging like a proud grandma? I want you to see their projects. Strikeout speech was Buddy's project. A child throws a ball at a target. And if they hit the target, they have to pronounce the word above the target. When the word is pronounced correctly, the therapist pushes a button and you hear sounds from a cheering crowd. Yay! Although Reach was satisfied with Buddy's toy just as it was, Buddy was not quite satisfied. He wanted to add sensors, microprocessors, and programming so that he could make more features for the toy. The next toy is Design Mosaic. Although it can be used by anyone, it is specifically designed for children who like texture, particularly children with autism. The foam-covered blocks have a compelling squeeze to them. Now, the design you are seeing was created by an autistic child. There are 70 blocks that can be moved up and down to create designs. You can also create a cat, a rocket, and a flower. So, am I justified to be bragging like a grandma? Here's the deal. The work that you're seeing is from freshmen in the first quarter in a required class. The quality of their ideas is amazing. And this just wasn't 2 teams, this was all 12 teams. They created value right now. Start now is our second mantra in the studio. It came to us from one of our faculty members, Jay. We were imagining the perfect design curriculum. Jay reminded us, we tell students you must know math, physics, chemistry, programming, and more before you can design anything. We say, be patient, just wait. Jay asked us, why do we have to wait? Why can't we start now? That provoked us. What experiences can we give freshmen, and how can we build on those experiences to construct a curriculum that provides value? We decided to have freshmen make a spinning top as their first individual project. After 20 minutes of safety instruction, they started machining. Now, it was under the careful supervision of our technician. Buddy loved making the top, and he realized that making the top boosted his confidence in his design skills. As he was creating the top, he was also creating skills and insights within himself. Our second individual project was an ethnography. We sent students to observe engineers at work and then interview the engineers. Afterwards, they wrote an article geared towards high school students about what engineers do. Happily, they made connections between what engineers do and what we were teaching them in the studio. Buddy advised students to consider the many career options that engineering has to offer. What we didn't realize is that these assignments would give us insights into our students. One student wrote, I learned there is no shame in asking questions. That hit me hard. I realized she had been ashamed to ask us questions. As a result of this insight, we increased our emphasis on the importance of asking questions. Now, it would be impressive if I could tell you everyone loved the studio, but I can't. For some, it was a struggle. But they all made it through, and we're learning and we're refining as we're guided by our 2 mantras, create value and start now. So what did we accomplish? A quiet student was motivated to do everything he could to help others. And he wants to learn more so he can continue his efforts. We created value for our client. For first quarter freshmen, and surprisingly, for ourselves. Start now. Thank you.